It's business tip time. Whether it's marketing, sales, operations, etc., I'm bringing you quick tips across a variety of topics to help elevate your business. Let's get it. Protecting yourself and your business legally is important, but hiring a lawyer can be costly and or intimidating. My friend Karen DeSwart solved this problem by founding her practice, Not Your Father's Lawyer. In addition to flat fee legal services, she has legal templates that are plug and play. I used her templates for my podcast guest release and for my coaching services agreement, and it couldn't have been easier. Head to the link in the show notes and get legally legit today. Hello, friends. Tania Bhattacharyya is back on the Corporate Dropout podcast today. And today she is sharing a business tip that you will not want to miss if you are a female entrepreneur. She is a nonprofit dropout and a brand message strategist and founder of Lumos Marketing, which helps women build influential personal brands to become the most trusted expert in their space. So Tania, will you share with us how to start your journey of finding your vision, your mission, and your niche?
Yes, I would love to talk about that a little bit. And this is a little bit abstract, so just kind of like run with me here, But before I go into that, I want to ask you to kind of close your eyes and think about what it feels like to become or to be known as like that go-to person in your area of expertise, right? Imagine getting calls from national newspapers and reporters wanting to interview you on the cause that you've made your calling. People who are putting together conferences and summits, inviting you out of the blue, popping in your inbox, asking you to speak at their thing, attracting the right people to your work in a way that feels like magic. And most importantly, seeing the change that you have envisioned come to life. So imagine that for a second, right? And think about what that feels like. And then think about, Brené Brown, right? She's like my fairy godmother. Her original niche was vulnerability, right? Michelle Obama's niche was ending childhood obesity, right? And these are both incredibly just intelligent, amazing women who have huge platforms, but they all focus kind of on one thing first before expanding out, right? And so I think that implementing a personal brand or, becoming a thought leader takes really intentionally coming up with your vision for the world, what your mission is on how you're going to make that happen, and then figuring out your niche, because it's just that much easier when you focus on one thing first and then expand into everything else you want to do, right? You might experience some resistance at the word expert. And I use the word expert a lot. And I say this because in working with people are like, oh, this isn't for me because I'm not an expert. And they just like dismiss it right away. And I want to just ask you, like, why are you having that reaction? Like, who else is there to make your vision for the world happen? And think about the future generations that would be impacted by the work that you're doing, the people that you'll never meet, maybe, right? The people who haven't even been born yet. But because you are out there representing this cause, doing this work that you do, they're going to have a different life because of your brand, because of your content, right? What would they say to you when you shrink away at your expertise and creating a platform, right? So just to kind of set that up, right? I think the first step is always figuring out your vision. Strategy is irrelevant until you have your vision. It's the foundation that you build your house on, right? And dreaming and dreamstorming is a word that I love to use in terms of figuring out your vision. Your vision is a striking statement that is simple enough to get people's attention and stop them in their tracks and think, oh my gosh, I want that too. Right? I want that too. And that way it's going to bring friends, fans, and followers on board to help create this new vision with you, right? So this is an intentional exercise. It can't be rushed. It can't be forced. Think about where you are your most creative, whether that's a walk in the forest, like a bubble bath, over like a huge Italian buffet. I don't know what it is, but you do you, and think about questions like, what have you been waiting for? What have the people you represent been waiting for? What future world are you dreaming of? What new way of doing things have you learned through your lived experience that can now be taught to other people, right? If you had a magic wand and could make one change in the world, what would it be? What do you want your legacy to be? What injustice is happening in your space that makes you mad, that keeps you up at night, that breaks your heart? And remember, the vision that you come up with should scare you a little bit. Like, this is probably not something that you'll actually see in your lifetime. And so I invite you to lean into cathedral thinking, which is this concept from like back in the day, where stonemasons and architects and builders would start building cathedrals and chapels, knowing that they'd never see the finished outcome. They'd never get to sit in that chapel, yet they did it anyway because they were creating something for the future generation, right? So yeah, that's your vision. That's your why, right? That's your why. And then your mission, if your vision is the why, your mission is the how, right? So how are you going to do that? So visualize yourself, like, let's just say 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and imagine that you're leading the project of your dreams, right? And imagine everything about it. Imagine the size of that project, the complexity, what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, who's there with you, who you're on the phone with, the scope of work, what are you wearing, what are you smelling, what are you seeing, what are you hearing, like, and what solution are you providing to who and how? What meetings are you taking, right? Who are your clients? What are you doing? And so as you think about that, some things will start to formulate that help you come up with your mission, which is the more immediate thing. Because some people are like, well, I have this vision, but like, how am I going to even do that? I'm like getting demotivated because I'm never going to be able to make this happen. Well, then think about your mission, right? Think about the tangible, like what you are going to be doing on a day-to-day basis to make that vision happen slowly but surely. And then the last piece is figuring out your niche. And like I said, I don't remember when I said it. It might have been this morning, not even to you, but I say this all the time. Like, we tend to be jack of all trades because we are just busy bees. But it's like, okay, what are you really good at? And what makes you happy? There's stuff that you're good at and that you love doing. And whatever that thing is, like, think about that thing and really hone your craft, get known for that thing. Get known for your expertise, and then watch yourself thrive, right? And so I think ways to find your niche is figuring out all of the things that you are credible in. And that might be certificates you have, job titles you've had, your reputation, right? The honors you've received. What else? Like where you volunteered, right? All of that kind of stuff that makes you credible in this thing. And then your passion, right? What are you passionate about? So like, what would you do even if you didn't get paid for it? If you were suddenly like thrust in front of an audience, like a captive audience, and you were like, okay, I have to talk about something, what would that thing be, right? Do you have a unique and possibly controversial point of view in this area? And then what is your expertise in, right? So like, what have you had? And I want to really say here, I think lived experience is the greatest predicator of competence. Like, I don't really care where you went to school. I want to know what you went through to get here. So like, what are some significant life experiences you've had? Are you the first, the only, the defier of odds? Is there anything unusual about your upbringing? What are you most proud of? Like, what do people call you to get your advice on? And some of these can belong in the different areas. They all kind of go together. But as you answer these questions, I think this like unified thread is going to emerge, and it's going to be like, oh, it's that thing. And I think for me, when I started my career back in the day, I realized my thing that I was good at and that I enjoyed doing was helping tell the stories of women who were really new in their recovery journey, and helping them translate that from a story of, pain and suffering and not enoughness and I suck and I'm awful into the courage and the resilience and the, oh my gosh, like I'm breaking the generational cycle, right? And coming at it from a place of power. So that's what I became good at. And then I branched out into general storytelling, and the rest is history, right? So So yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of my freeform thoughts on how you get started in this journey, figuring out what is your vision for the future that other people can pick up clearly and join you in that work. What is your mission? So how are you tangibly doing that work? And then what is your niche? Yeah, like what is the thing you want to become known for? What are your thoughts? How does that land with you?
Like, I have a little bit of work to do for sure. I like being multi-passionate can be challenging sometimes because you want to have many niches, but I think that that's such good advice. And, just sticking to something you're so passionate about that you would do it for free. I think that is so crucial. One thing you said, and I was on mute, but you could see me react to it when you said cathedral thinking, I got goosebumps. Like having, again, going back to the why that makes you cry, like it has to be so much bigger than you. So, wow. I am just so glad that we met. How did we meet again? It was like Instagram DMs or something, right?
We met through Cameron. Who's so awesome, who's an incredible branding photographer here in Southern California.
Yes, she kills it. Really is. Well, I am just so glad that our paths crossed because like you are enabling generational curse breaking and like chain breaking. And it's just a privilege to get to know you. And I loved interviewing you, not once, but twice. And thank you so much for coming on. Oh, real quickly too, people can listen to the interview, but real quickly, tell us where folks can find you, work with you. I mean, you just dropped a bunch of knowledge bombs, but like if they want hands-on, one-on-one, like
For sure. I mean, I would say definitely come and check out my website. It's lumosmarketing.co. So that's Lumos, like the Harry Potter spell for illumination, Lumos Marketing. And the other place to find me is LinkedIn, because that's my playground. That's where I spend a lot of my time. That I think is probably the best platform to build your personal brand and your thought leadership brand. So yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn as well, just under my name, Tania Bhattacharyya.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. If you all take advantage of working with Tania, she has a great VIP day that could be a good fit for you. She tells more about it in the last episodes, so be sure to listen to that and let her know that I sent you. You'll get the corporate dropout treatment.
Yes, 100%.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, and I can't wait to meet in person very soon.
I can't wait. What a joy. Thanks so much for having me on. I appreciate you.
If your business isn't where you want it to be, the fix might be as simple as tracking what matters, because what you track grows. The 90-day cycle to new habits journal has helped me do just that. It blends mindset and personal development, a to-do list, and outreach tracking. If you're in need of a simple system to help you level up, pick up your copy today at 90dayhabits.co and use code CITRO, that's CITRO, for 10% off. Thank you so much for listening to the show. If today's episode added value to your life in some way, please subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with someone who needs this. I'd love to connect with you on Instagram and hear how the show has inspired you. So tag me or slide into the DMs. Find me at Corporate Dropout Official or Alacia Citro. That's ALESSIACITRO and 2 underscores. Until next time, remember that you're a badass. Stay focused, stay hungry, and dare to drop out.